CRT is not taught in Virginia's elementary schools. That is abundantly clear once you take a look at the type of history books they're using in their curriculum. But that hasn't stopped the people of Virginia from panicking over critical race theory. One woman claims that she has evidence of the books that are used in classrooms. Let's take a look.
Is CRT in the school?
Yeah, these are our revolutionaries. I mean, these are the amazing, brave parents that should inspire everyone.
And you weren't involved before, right?
No, I wasn't. 2 years ago, I didn't even know any of my school board members. And then they came after my son's school. They came after the idea of merit and the American dream. And I came here as a 4-year-old girl from India, that believing in the American dream. And this is what they say is taught in law schools, critical race theory. But thank you. In our little show and tell, I'll show you. A is for activist. This is the book that is then becomes what our children get in our school systems. And you can see here, Ainsley, this subtle image.
Wow.
Of a militant. And this is what they are turning our children into, militants.
Are these books that are in our classrooms here in Virginia?
They are in Virginia. Woke baby, genderqueer. This is where they then start messing with issues of sexuality. Not my idea, where they literally have said that whiteness is a deal with the devil.
Wow.
Are these books available in the schools in Virginia? They are available in Virginia. Oh, okay. So are they part of curriculum in the public school system? I mean, there wasn't an answer in regard to that because because they're not. They're not being taught. Like those schools are not part of the official curriculum in elementary schools. And by the way, CRT, critical race theory, isn't just a catch-all, okay? It isn't just whatever you want it to be, right? A children's book about activism is not the same thing as a graduate level curriculum that includes critical race theory. This is completely manufactured nonsense. And the fact that people are up in arms about it blows my mind, but there's money behind it. There are right-wing organizations that are funding this effort specifically to get rid of anyone on school boards that they disagree with, fill the school boards up with right-wing zealots who are panicky about nonsense. And by the way, let's just focus on the activism book for a second. We live in a democracy. So what do you want your children to be? You want your children to be these timid, complacent losers who never want to speak truth to power? Is that the kind of children you're raising? Because that's not what you would expect in a democracy. You would want the people to hold the government accountable for its wrongdoing. I mean, she would probably claim that she's doing that right now by making a big deal out of a children's book that's not part of official curriculum in history classes for Virginia's elementary schools, right? She would probably think that. So I don't get it. She's like, oh my God, A is for activism. Oh my God, A is for activist. This is a page from the book. A is for activist, advocate, abolitionist, ally, actively answering a call to action. Oh my God, that is, how dare they? Who would want to teach their children to be strong fighters in a democratic system?
Instead, you should teach them to accept surrender to corporate rule and bow their heads. Don't be an activist, just sit at home and take whatever punishment big business has decided to give you. And look at the power of propaganda here, guys. Did you ever hear about critical race theory a couple of years ago? She says she didn't. Most people hadn't. I had because I went to law school and I had read about it, right? But the reason you never heard about it is they don't teach it in the schools. They don't teach it in high school or elementary school or any of these schools. It's a totally made up controversy, 100% fabricated. It's meant as a distraction because the right wing is terrible on economic issues and they help corporations oppress you with low wages and terrible healthcare. So in order to distract you, they go, oh my God, they're gonna turn your kids gay. Look at this thing with the queer book, right? And oh my God, they're gonna say that black people are oppressed. Oh, they're not oppressed, you should oppress them more. And oh, white power is awesome. They got an Indian lady to sit there and talk about how, oh, we can't be talking about queer people and critical race theory where all the races would be equal. No, we can't have that. I mean,
what the right wing,
so sad, it's so sad.
What the right wing is taking full advantage of is the fact that most people don't know what critical race theory is because it's part of graduate school, graduate level curriculum. So what they're doing is they're just allowing, they're pushing this narrative that critical race theory is just a catch-all. Anything can fall under the category of critical race theory, including, by the way, awesome books that teach children to speak truth to power. How dare you? By the way, is the United States perfect? Is that what the right wing thinks? That there's no improvement for the United States? They think that children are being taught to hate the United States, which is so ridiculous. But the United States, by the way, as it stands today, is not perfect. Part of the wonderful thing about democracy is that you're able to speak up, to demand change, to want better for your country. I love America. I love this country. But I want it to be better. I know what it's capable of. I know that there's the idea of America that we haven't lived up to yet. That doesn't mean you hate America. That means that you see wonderful things in the country's future if you're willing to fight for it. But just to really emphasize the stupidity behind all of this manufactured garbage, which is intentionally meant to distract you from the fact that the people at the very top are robbing us blind. Here is an older gentleman who was asked about what he's most fearful of. And of course, he brings up critical race theory, but struggles a little bit in explaining what it is.
What's the most important issue in the governor's race here in Virginia?
Getting back to the basics of teaching children, not teaching them critical race theory.
And what is critical race theory?
Well, I'm not going to get into the specifics of it because I don't understand it that much, but it's something that what little bit that I know I don't care for.
And what have you heard that you don't?
Well,
that you don't
like? I'm not going to, I don't have that much knowledge on it, but It's something that I don't care for.
Nailed it. I don't know it, I don't understand it, but I don't like it. Okay, great, awesome.
It's funny because that you showed that video because I was just about to say, I guarantee you if you ask Republicans what is critical race theory, they have no idea. If you ask that lady in the original Fox video, hey, you seem really upset about critical race theory, what is it? You can do it at home. You got your drunk uncle at Thanksgiving who's gonna tell you, oh man, they're teaching critical race theory. Okay, ask him, what is it? Bob?
It's endless, it's endless. If it's not critical race, there will be something new next month. It's endless.
Okay, so let me just explain. They're asking to not teach about racism. That's what this is about. Don't tell anybody that slavery was racist. Oh, of course not. We just held black people as property and whipped them and killed them and made them all do the work for free, but that wasn't racist. Don't teach them about racism. That's the sick state of the Republican Party. They did a poll recently where even a significant chunk of Republicans said, yeah, we know we're the racist party. It's so obvious. You're going around saying, don't teach racism, don't teach racism. Why? Because you think racism is awesome. I don't care what color you are, okay? Oh yeah, I listen to all my idiot right-wing shows and they told me that I should hate black people. So I'm up here telling you lies about how this is taught in Virginia when it isn't taught in Virginia. I don't even know what it is, but I know I'm supposed to hate black people. Okay, and if you're, yeah, all right, one last thing.
I gotta add something to that because look, Cenk, as much as everything you're saying about the right wing is true, think about it. The right wing offers their supporters something. They offer their supporters this climate of fear and hatred, the boogeymen. Like there's something that they get out of that. And what do Democrats provide? What do Democrats provide?
They don't.
A bunch of clowns kneeling in kente cloths with no police reform? That's what Democrats provide.
Yeah.
A stripped down reconciliation bill that got rid of all of the popular provisions that would have materially improved people's lives. That's what the Democrats respond with, right? Not a bunch of nonsense, platitudes, pretending like they care about disenfranchised groups of people. But when push comes to shove, they don't get anything done, nothing. No police reform, not even a freaking voting rights bill is gonna pass.
So
I mean, it's pathetic.
So what does this boil down to? Democrats and Republicans play good cop and bad cop with all of us. Meanwhile, they're robbing us blind. Your wages haven't gone up in 40 years. So the Republicans say black people bad, Democrats say black people good. Neither side does anything about it. The police continue to do exactly what they're doing. There's no laws passed. And the Republicans also don't take away teaching of racism in most of the schools. So they do it in a couple of places, so we all get super mad on the left, as we should, right?
What they're doing is
we're forced to fight back, right, against their racism. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that they're robbing the bank right under our nose. And the right wing loves to go along with it. And by the way, so do corporate Democratic supporters. Last thing is, it's the power propaganda. Even in that Fox segment, she says, "Are they?" Oh my gosh, she earnestly, Ainsley Earhart asks, "Are they teaching that in the Virginia schools?" She says, "It's in Virginia." Any real reporter would say, "Wait, in Virginia or in Virginia schools?" But she didn't ask that follow-up question because the point of the segment on Fox is not to inform you, it's to lie to you. That's the whole point of that segment. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.